Hi, this is Mike J. Welcome to my channel. What we're going to talk about here today is a bunch of fabulous cars and a lift. And we have Brian here.
Hello.
Brian, welcome to my channel.
Thanks for having me.
So, I love your cars.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
What is this hidden underneath?
This is actually my first car. I've kept, I bought in 2002. It's a 72 Chevy Nova. It's not a real Yanko Nova. Everyone asks me that when I reveal it and pull the cover off of it. But yeah, I bought this in high school.
Oh, you had this since high school?
Yeah, I bought it my sophomore year in high school. So yeah, 2001-ish, 2002, I believe is when I bought it. And I've kept it ever since, and a lot of sentimental value to it, so I've never sold it. So I don't work on it a whole lot lately, because as you can probably see, I have too many irons in the fire. But
right,
I did a lot of modifications to it over the years to make it a little more pro touring and kind of keep the nostalgia. Everyone's going LS motors, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I kept it small block Chevy, and I actually put a fuel injection kit on it, pieced it together with a micro squirt with the help of a friend of mine, Mitchell Bonata.
Wow.
Who helped me do the whole thing, and I still got some tuning to do to it, but it's it's a work in progress, and kind of, like I said, going the pro touring route. So there's quite a bit more suspension upgrades I want to do to the car, because although it's got some coilovers, got Viking coilovers and some other things on it, I want to upgrade some control arms and a few other things as well. But
because in Phoenix, I've lived here in Phoenix since 1980 or since 1975.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to have Chevy Nova V8s as Phoenix police cars here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it was way before your time.
Yeah, before my time, but I have an appreciation for them. So that's
yeah,
cool.
these Novas, you don't see a whole heck of a lot of them out there anymore, but this is a really cool car.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
so
I've never gotten rid of it. I tell my wife, at least of all my cars, at least they're appreciating assets,
right.
When she gives me a hard time.
I just wish that I kept my first car that I got from high school.
My dad told me that years and years and years as a kid, and that's always rung in the back of my mind, which is another part of the reason I've kept the car.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to regret that down the road.
Okay, the Z06. Now,
yes.
I like this.
Thank you.
A friend of mine, he's got a 2003 Corvette convertible that's a Lincolnfelter, and
Awesome.
this looks a lot like it, except his is convertible. So, what's up? What year is this one?
This is a 2004, so the last year of the C5 Corvette, and of course this Z06 of this body style. Had all the upgrades and everything you could have got on the Z06, so it has the HUD, heads-up display. The car I actually only had for about a month now. I traded a E46 M3 I had for this car. Car is actually salvage title car. It was wrecked in the front, and I just finished all the framework and body, all the little repairs it needed. Drivetrain is completely stock, other than it's got a K&N intake on it, but that's about it. Another reason I wanted the car is it's all original and only has 40,000 miles on it.
40,000 miles.
So although it's salvage title, to me the damage was minimal and the mileage is so low that I kind of couldn't pass up the opportunity. And I'd been looking to upgrade from my C4 to a C5, this year anyways. So work in progress. I got a couple other things I still need to do to it before I get the inspection done and get it on the road. But it runs really good. I've really only driven it around the neighborhood a little bit, because of course it's not legal to drive on the road. But
I think the best part about the Corvettes is that when the Z06 had this
the fixed roof.
I call it a coupe.
Yeah,
I call it a coupe.
Call it the fixed roof coupe is actually what it's referred to by most C5 guys. But actually, it's interesting. You said your friend had a convertible. It's actually based on the convertible. If you look at the lines of it, this is actually where the convertible top would have gone. So very similar, but I've always liked the looks of the fixed roof coupe, and looking at C5s, it was either getting the fixed roof coupe or a Z06, of course with that same roof. So
it's a beauty.
Yes. Thank you.
It's a beauty. Okay, the black one. The black Corvette is a 1985.
Yeah, 85 Corvette. This is my first Corvette I got a couple years ago.
And I had an 85 Corvette also.
Very cool.
And so tell me a little bit more about this one.
So I got this a couple years ago. actually bought the car for $2,500.
$2,500.
Yeah, a guy on Craigslist had it for sale. He had bought it for his son as a project, and I guess he had driven it not a whole lot of miles when he blew the head gaskets on it. So he was selling it as a non-running car, and of course at that age in the C4, it was fairly cheap. So I said I can do head gaskets. So I bought the car for $2,500. I put the wheels on it, of course, lowered it a little bit, fixed the motor, put a new radiator in it because our summers are really hot, as you know.
Yeah.
So I pretty much did everything that I could to it, other than the interior. That was the last thing I haven't touched yet on it. And it needs seat covers or seats reupholstered and a couple of little things. But the car's very, very solid for the year, and it's got about 120,000 miles on it, I think.
And the size, the meat on that tire.
That was one of the things with the car when I got it. I said, I've got to get 315s under there.
Yeah, I mean, guys, you got to check this out. Look at the width of this tire.
Yeah, that's what everyone comments about with the car is the rear tires. And
that's like a really, really, really big ass tire.
it's a fun car. My wife and I took it to Las Vegas last year. We just took a little 2 or 3 day trip, and I drove it there, and man, it drives awesome. you can go pretty fast without realizing how fast you're going, which I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, fun car.
Okay, and what we have here, the last car, there is no substitute, right?
Yeah,
Porsche.
True. That is true. Yeah, Porsche 928. This is a 1986 and a half. Half meaning the point in time where they went to the dual overhead cam V8. It's a 5-liter V8, all aluminum cylinders or blocking heads and everything. It's got, this car too is a low mile car. This car has 38,000 miles on it, believe it or not. Running, driving car. I'm in the process of kind of restoring it. I actually just painted this car in September, so the paint's fresh and just been buffed. So I'm kind of letting it sit while I work on this one for a while. But it's unmolested, all stock, and really good shape. Other than me doing a timing belt on it pretty soon, and I've actually got a new set of wheels over there that I'm going to throw on it. A little more of a modern pro touring look to it too.
See, Brian, every time I see one of these on the road, and I think our next door neighbor has one.
Yeah, you go a few houses down.
Yeah,
a small world. He has,
see, at first I thought that. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I thought he was that other house, right?
Yeah, small world. When I actually had, this is my second 928. I bought on the wall over there. You see a red one. I bought in that picture there 3 years ago, and I actually flipped that car. I purchased it, restored it. It was red when I bought it, but I completely restored the interior, did a bunch of mechanical stuff on it, and sold it to a guy in Denmark.
Oh.
And when I did, I really regretted selling it. And that's when I started, of course, on Craigslist like I always do. Found another one not too far away that was actually in better shape and lower miles. And with the year, more sought after. So, yeah, when I sold that one, I was like, I gotta get another one. So
see, every time I see one of these Porsches, it reminds me of Tom Cruise and Risky Business.
Yep.
And you're a little younger than I am, and you even remember that,
I
right?
do. That was about the time I was born. But I any car from about when I was born on, and any movie, I'm fairly familiar with. I'm a nut like that with the cars. So,
I mean, I thought I was crazy about cars. I think you're like a lot more crazy than I am about cars.
Yeah, I have a sickness, that's for sure.
Yeah.
My wife reminds me of that, but fortunately she's supportive of my habit.
Well, that's really cool. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Another thing that really fascinated me is your lift. Let's talk about the lift because, I would have more cars if I had somewhere to put them.
Right.
And I do not like leaving cars parked outside. And obviously you don't like cars parked outside.
Yeah, nor do I.
So tell me, how in the world did you get this lift in here?
So I when I bought the house, I didn't necessarily look for a house with a high ceiling, but luckily the ceilings in this particular subdivision are fairly high. Mine are 9 feet 6 inches tall. And when I realized that I could possibly fit a lift in here, I started doing a bunch of internet research and found out that there's quite a few that don't require you to, one, bolt them to the ground, and two, with the size, the short cars I have, I was able to make some minor modifications to get this to work in my garage. So I don't remember the manufacturer's name off the top of my head, but it's fairly comparable to a lot of the other ones that are out there. It was about a $2,000 lift, shipped to my house from a local distributor. I put it together myself, which saved me quite a bit of money because that can be expensive to have someone do for you. But yeah, it's a really solid lift and runs off 110, just a 110 outlet and some hydraulic fluid and a reservoir and a pump, and it's rated up to 8,000 pounds actually. So you could lift up something pretty big if you had the space and
lift up a Tahoe if you needed to.
You could. Yeah, you really could.
You know, one thing great is that even though if you don't plan on parking a car on top, think about how easy it is to change your own oil now.
Maintenance alone, yeah.
I mean, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
don't have to take it in for stupid stuff. You could just do it yourself by lifting it.
It really opens up a lot of opportunities for that. I bought the lift because of space.
Right.
It was really the reason I got it was to be able to store another car inside. But that's an awesome added benefit to it is just being able to walk underneath it. The undersides of my cars are probably a lot cleaner than they would have been otherwise because I can get under there and actually do some work and clean them up and all that kind of stuff that otherwise you'd be on your back for.
Yeah. Hey, one question. Did you paint it black?
Paint the Corvette black?
No. The lift.
Oh, no, the lift came black.
Oh, came black.
Actually came black. I think they had a couple other color options. I think blue was a color option,
right,
which I've seen, and I want to say red was, but of course, I preferred black.
But you don't want to know something, though? This lift being that it's black, and what you've got underneath it, it just goes like so...
It does, right?
Like, it goes so hand in hand,
I wanted something a little less, flashy, right in your face red lift, but kind of blend in with the garage. Try to keep it as low key in here as I can.
Wow, this is really cool, and
thank you.
And of course, Brian had to actually do some modification. He did this himself. He didn't have it installed. As you can see, that's like where the garage door opener would be, which there isn't any. So he had to on the side. He had to refabricate the drive unit that pulls the garage door. So.
Yeah, it's I took the existing garage door motor and I flipped it on its side, and I bought another gear to run off the shaft that actually brings the garage door up and down. So it actually just runs off a small chain now on the side because of course the height restrictions. So I was able to raise the actual garage door and rails high enough to where it's almost hugging the ceiling and gives me that extra space, so I can raise and lower the garage door with the car up on the lift without issue. So yeah. I'll use all my existing parts. You can buy shaft drive garage door openers, but they're quite expensive, and I'd rather throw that money into my cars than into a garage door. So I figured a way out. Thanks to YouTube. So yeah.
YouTube is awesome.
It is.
It gets to show a lot of things throughout the world. That people are curious about, or things that they want to research, and that's how I research and find out a lot of things.
Me too.
Is through YouTube.
If I'm not working on my cars, I'm on YouTube looking at other things to do in and on my cars. So.
Well, folks, what do you think? I mean, is this like a dream garage? I mean, I just wish that I had half of it, and it's like, it's awesome. I mean, this is like, I'm sure, right? The garage is cleaner than the inside of your house, right?
That is true. Yes. My kids know not to dump their junk in the garage because they're going to hear about it. So
see, I didn't see any kids' toys here, and I saw you have a daughter, right?
I have a couple kids, and both of them know when they come out here that that's not.
So the garage is off limits. You play in the house.
It's Dad's man cave, and you can't find him. You know where he's at. I'm blessed to have been able to have a garage like this. That's for sure. So.
And what's really nice is you've got the house with the 3 garages that are all like, all together, instead of like, because the houses in this development, some houses are like 2 garage and then you got one off to the side. Garage, so, this works out great.
I like the house. It's a big open garage area.
Right.
So it gives me plenty of space to work around and
well, Brian, I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to show you my garage.
I mean, this is what, I would dream of, and a lot of people would dream of having, and this hoist, it's just that too bad I just don't have a roof that will accommodate it, or else I would, or maybe my dad would give me his house so that I can just, move in there and we'll switch houses, and so I can put a lift in, so I don't have to sell one car and I can have 3 cars.
That's what dads are for, right? They're supposed to help you out like that. Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Brian.
No problem.
For giving us a tour of your awesome garage and the toys and your lift that's in here.
Thank you.
Well, folks,
my pleasure.
If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Please like, subscribe, comments, tap the notification bell for future videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care.